take to be triumphant? How long? How long? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long? How long? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long? How long? How long will it take? Do you think? How long will it take to be triumphant?
Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode, the first ever episode of How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant. Now, lots of you will know that we've taken our two favourite shows and we've put them together. We've taken How Long Will It Take and Who Will Be Triumphant? Who? We've taken both those shows and we've put them together. And what have we got? How Long Will It Take to Be Triumphant? How did you get on with the song at the start? I hope you remembered to go, how long, how long, how long, how long, how long will it take to be triumphant? Who? You've got to get the how long and the who. You've got to get them in, if not, the magic doesn't happen. Anyway, welcome to this first episode. I'm now going to explain how it works, and then we're going to get our first activity going, and we'll find out where the points are going first of all. Okay, so every week I will set a challenge to 3 or 4 people. Okay, I'll set 3 or 4 people a challenge, and they'll all do it at the same time, most of the time. What you have to do is you have to work out how long the challenge will take. So how long the challenge will take and who will win it, who will be triumphant. So you've got 2 things to do with every challenge. Work out who will be triumphant and how long that person will take. We're always looking for how long the winner takes. Okay. You will get 5 points. I'll say that again. You will get 5 points if you get the correct winner. If you tell me who's triumphant and you're right, you get 5 points. The team or the person who gets the closest time to how long will it take, the first team get 8 points, the next team 7, 6, 5, 4. So it's just like the rules before, 8 points all the way down to 1 for how long, and you get a straight 5 points if you work out who's triumphant. We keep the scores going each week, we get the scoreboard out, we get the scores going, it's going to be brilliant. Okay, first of all, today's challenge. It's called Flip the Kipper. When I used to be a child at Christmas time, so when I was younger and it was Christmas time, everyone in the family used to make a game for us to play. Everybody in the family used to say, oh, I'm going to do bingo, or I'm going to do the newspaper game, or I'm going to do musical statues, whatever. We all used to think of a game. My dad always used to say, let's play Flip the Kipper. But because he's got quite a Norfolk kind of voice, you say, Flip the Kipper, let's play Flip the Kipper. Anyway, my dad used to say, let's play Flip the Kipper. Now this is how Flip the Kipper works. You cut out the shape of a fish or a kipper. You cut out the shape of a fish out of newspaper, and then you get another whole newspaper and you roll it up. And what you do is you put the kipper on the floor, and then you bang the floor. You bang the floor as hard as you can with the newspaper, and it creates air, and that air, that kind of movement, makes the kipper move along. Now the deal is you have to bang the floor. You're not allowed to kind of waft, you're not allowed to smash it through the air. You've got to bang the floor, and as you bang the floor, it moves the kipper. You are not allowed to kind of use this as a kind of make it windy. You're not allowed to do that. So that's Flip the Kipper. Here's today's challenge. I am going to get Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, who is our student teacher in year 3, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Patterson to flip the kipper. I'm going to get Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Patterson to flip the kipper. They're going to flip it. They're going to flip it about not quite halfway across the school hall. So imagine the school hall There's actually a badminton court. There's a court that's mapped out on the floor. They're going to go halfway along that. The kipper's at one end and they've got to go halfway. How long will it take Mr. Smith, Mrs. Patterson, Miss Lawrence or Mrs. Wing to flip the kipper halfway along the badminton court in the hall? And most importantly, who will be triumphant? You need to tell me who will be triumphant and how long that person will take to flip the kipper. What do you think? Now, let's find out what all of the teams thought for the very first round of this show. Right, we've got Harry and Toby representing their foundation stage class. Harry, who do you think's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And Toby, how long do you think the triumphant person's going to take? Is that 1 minute 20?
Yes.
Hi Xavier, representing the Year 1 team. Xavier, I've spoken to your class, haven't I? Yes. Xavier, who do you think is going to be triumphant in this challenge?
Mr. Smith.
And how long do you think the triumphant person is going to take?
56 seconds.
Okay. Hello Maya, here for the Year 2 team. Maya, first of all, who do you think is going to be triumphant?
Mrs. Patterson.
Mrs. Patterson. And also Maya, how long do you think the triumphant person is going to take?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Hey Conrad, representing the Year 3 team. Conrad, who do you think is going to be triumphant with Flip the Kipper?
I think Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And as a class, Conrad, how long do you think he's going to take to be triumphant?
3 minutes 30.
Ooh. Right, we've got Finn and Jensen representing the Year 4 team. Are you excited, boys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, boys. So, Flip the Kipper. Jensen, who do we think is going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And Finn, how long do we think the triumphant person's going to take?
1 minute 30.
Ooh.
37 seconds.
1 minute 37 seconds. Here we have Edward representing the Year 5 team. Edward, first of all, Flip the Kipper. Who's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And how long do you think the winner's going to take to be triumphant?
1 minute 10 seconds.
Okay. Hi Eloise, representing the Year 6 team. Eloise, who do we think is going to be triumphant?
Mrs. Patterson.
Mrs. Patterson. Eloise, how long for Mrs. Patterson to be triumphant?
We think 69 seconds.
Oh, okay. Hello, Mrs. Cooper. Here representing the SOS team. Now, I know that you didn't do that well in the first series of How Long Will It Take, Mrs. Cooper, but this is new. This is new content. Mrs. Cooper, out of the 4 competitors, who's going to be triumphant?
Mr. Smith.
And how long is the triumphant person going to take?
Like 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, we've got some very interesting predictions there. Some really interesting ideas. So now, let's go live to the hall and let's flip the kipper and find out who's triumphant with 5 points and how long they take. Right, everybody, we're clear on the rules of how long will it take to be triumphant. How long will it take the first person to get their kipper over the line and who will be triumphant? Will it be Mrs. Wing, Miss Lawrence, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Patterson? Ready? Go! And stop, everybody, and stop. That is quite an impressive start to how long will it take to be triumphant. I am so excited about this new show that I've left my garage and driven all the way into my office here in Stukely to give you the scores. Yeah, I have. Okay, let's have a look to see how we all did. Now, each week I will go and ask a class what they think is going to happen, and then I'll choose a different child to do the video each week. If you didn't have me come into your class before this and say what do you think, I will choose you the next week. So each week I'll do a different class from each year group. Okay, well, the big 8 points go to year 2 and to the SOS team, because they both said 30 seconds and they were the closest to the 14-ish seconds that Mrs. Patterson took. So 8 points to year 2 and year SOS team. No 7 points because there's no second place. 6 points to year 1 with 56 seconds. 5 points to year 6. 4 points to year 5. 3 points to foundation. 2 points to year 4. And only 1 point to year 3. I mean, year 3, you were talking a big amount of time. If those guys had been flipping the kipper for 3 minutes 30 seconds, I mean, I would lose my job. I mean, that's not good skills. But anyway, well done for those points. And I haven't forgotten, there's also the big 5 points to year 2 for saying Mrs. Patterson would be triumphant, and to year 6, the big 5 points for saying Mrs. Patterson would be triumphant. So let's look at our first league table. Let's look at our first scores of this new show. Right at the top, year 2, they've got 13. That's the most points you can get in one go. The full 8 and the 5 for the triumphant. So well done, year 2. And year 3, how times have changed. You won the whole show, How Long Will It Take? And after round 1, you are bottom of How Long Will It Take to be triumphant. Let's try and change it next week. I'll see you all next week for the second ever episode of How Long Will It Take to be triumphant. Who?
How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will it take to be triumphant? How long will